never done a two-part talk before. This is very exciting. So, now that I have told you about my life and about how my career and business evolved, I'd like to talk about how you can build or manage a business. I'd also like to share some of my personal inspirations. But before I do, I want to mention to the women in the audience that this is a particularly interesting time for all of you as your presence in the workforce and on college and university campuses grows. Women account for nearly 50% of the workforce in Korea, and last year the ratio of women entering colleges and universities surpassed that of men. I also understand that in 2007, 1.1 million, or 37% of Korea's businesses, were led by women. Very impressive. In my own professional life, I have seen significant changes in the workplace. I grew up at a time in America when there were few career options for women beyond nursing and teaching. These are incredibly important roles. My parents were both teachers, and I think of myself as one also, but I'm grateful to my parents who always told me, remember, Martha, girls can do anything. Anything. This was in the 1940s and 50s, not the most progressive time in America. But that is what they would say, and I believed them, and I still do. I'm proud to say that my company has many female executives, and our workforce is about 70% women and 30% men. Not that I don't like men, I love men. As an entrepreneur and businesswoman, I have had the opportunity to learn from some very successful people. Over the years, I've come to realize that there are certain qualities and rules that can make a very big difference in your professional life, whether you're interested in starting, building, or managing a business. Many of these ideas are laid out in my book entitled The Martha Rules. And someone in the audience just brought me her copy for me to autograph, which thank you very much. I don't think it's been translated into Korean, but maybe it should. It's been translated into many other languages. But this is a good book, a simple book, but not too simple, as Einstein would say. Discover your passion. One of the keys to having a rewarding career or creating a successful business is passion. Build your professional life around something that you truly love, if you can. Something that is inherently and endlessly interesting to you. It's so important to love what you do. How else will you be able to give it the time and the energy and the hard work that it requires? I could never do all the things that I do if I wasn't absolutely passionate about them. And it's very, very essential. And that's really rule number one. Passion has been a driving force in my life and the evolution, and in the evolution of Masastyuort, the brand. Passion for cooking and for entertaining. Passion for crafting. Passion for gardening. Passion for holiday celebrations, passion for living. It was my passion for all of those things, coupled with my passion for teaching, that helped me turn my catering business into an omnimedia company. People sometimes ask me how I balance my very demanding professional life with my personal life, and for me, actually, well, there's no difference between them. My work is my life, and my life is my work. It happens that they both kind of like could be either, so it's kind of lucky. They are inextricably intertwined, and everything is integrated. When I have a dinner party or go on a trip like this one, I come away with dozens of fresh ideas that I'm eager to share with our customers in the form of content and products. I just can't help it. Even if a psychiatrist told me you must go away and not come back with an idea, I am very sorry. I could not do that. I would come back with hundreds of great ideas. When work is based on passion, it just doesn't feel like work, and it feels fulfilling and actually very empowering. Second, rule number 2, look for the big idea. Of course, passion itself is not enough. You can have all the passion in the world, but if you're lazy, forget it. You must be willing to work very, very hard. And that means more than just putting in long hours perfecting a project. It means coming up with good ideas. Talk about a good idea. Well, it's very important to think, is that a good idea or not? Is it going to really be compelling? Do people need it? Do they want it? I often think, do I need it? Do I want it? And that is often the basis for my next good idea. I just came up with a new product. I've been thinking about it for quite a while. On our television show, I refuse to cook food in aluminum foil. So I've always been laying out aluminum foil, and if I want to crimp food, like if I want to do it on papillote, but I want to do it in foil, then I will line it with parchment paper, cooking parchment. Then I will fold it all up and crimp it. And I thought, why can't we fuse parchment to foil? Must be a way to do it. So I wrote a patent application. I found a company that would help me fuse the parchment to the foil. Turned out that in 1958 somebody else came up with a similar idea, but never got a patent for it, and the patent office said it's not really a patentable idea. But I went ahead anyway because it doesn't matter if it's patentable or not. It's still a really good idea. And I actually have manufactured it, found a company in England that's doing it for me. And the other day we were doing a grilling special at my house for television. And one of the chefs, lo and behold, was cooking beets in Martha wrap. That's what it's called, Martha wrap. He had found it independently. I didn't even give it to him. And he was wrapping individual beets to roast them on the grill in Martha wrap. I was so happy. So little by little, it's getting out there, and hopefully it will take the place of aluminum foil for cooking food, because it crimps like aluminum foil, but it's safe like parchment. And that was just an idea, but it worked. So it's very fun to come up with that idea that's like a light bulb going off in your head. Start thinking about basic things, as I said, that people need and want. Then look for ways to enlarge, improve, and enhance that idea. The great inventor Thomas Edison said, "I have never perfected an invention that I did not think about in terms of the service it might give to others. I find out what the world needs, and then I proceed to invent." I had no idea Thomas Edison said that when I kept saying, do I need it? Do I want it? And here he is. I guess I'm an inventor too, coming up with that same thought. It's very much our approach at MSLO. We live the life of our customers. In designing new products, I encourage my team to ask themselves, is this something we want and need ourselves? If we don't covet it for ourselves, it's not good enough for our customers. And I will look at a teacup. They're holding up a teacup for me and say, oh, do you like this? And I try to put my finger in the handle of the teacup, because our teacups have handles. I don't know if yours do, but ours do. And if my finger doesn't fit in it and you have to hold it like this, like a little bitty lady, I say, this isn't good. I don't want this cup. And I said, do you want it? And then they'll sheepishly look at me and say no. And I said, then what the heck? And I don't break it, but I feel like breaking it. So it has to go on and be reinvented. Our paint colors, for example, evolved out of a need. I have been raising chickens for many years, and I often bring bowls of fresh eggs to the office to share with my employees. My Araucana's hen's eggs are not just delicious, they are very beautiful. And you can see them on the right. They come in shades of blue and green and khaki and pink. They're a very wonderful breed of chicken that lays these, we call them Easter eggs. And subtle beiges. And we designed a conversations about the beautiful shelves evolved into a decorating story in Martha Stewart Living, featuring walls painted in what we called the Araucana colors. We mixed the paints. We had to, because these colors didn't exist in any paint palette, so we mixed the paints ourselves, and then we created the palette. We hired an artist to capture the distinct shades of the eggs and of the myriad objects in and around my home, like my antique Wedgwood drabware plates that are on the wall. And we came up with hundreds of original new colors by looking at everyday things that I had lying around that I especially loved. And we realized that our story wouldn't provide our readers with much of a service if they couldn't actually buy the paints, so we entered our first paint partnership. Today we offer 280 beautiful paint colors at the Home Depot, the #1 home improvement retailer in the United States and Canada. And people come constantly to me saying, oh, I've just painted my dining room biscuit, or I've just used Araucana blue for my child's bedroom. It's so rewarding when I hear them, and they love the names of all the paints that we milk pale and other colors that they use. More recently, I've become increasingly interested in sustainability. It's a terribly important issue that we must incorporate into our lifestyle as best we can for all the future generations and for the future of the planet where we live. That is one of the reasons I'm interested in sustainable communities like Korea's planned Songdo Eco City. I've always embraced environmental practices in my own homes. I live on a farm in Bedford, New York, and sustainability as a philosophy permeates all aspects of my life there. I see a pressing need for well-designed, useful products that support sustainability. On the farm, I don't spray any toxic chemicals. I don't use any fertilizers. I compost. I revitalize with minerals the soil. I try to keep everything. I use microbes in the soil to increase nice friability in the soil. And as a result, I have beautiful pastures. My horses are happy, healthy. My animals are all thriving, and the vegetables we grow are all delicious and healthy. So it's very important to kind of live what you preach, and I try to do that every single day. And to that end, our company is building its presence in the green space with creative content in our Whole Living magazine and our wholeliving.com website. And this magazine is a wonderful magazine. I think one that would probably be popular here in Korea if we published it, maybe with the Hyundai Corporation. But it's a very good magazine and full of great ideas for your own health, your own welfare, and the welfare of tomorrow. We also make carpet tiles, design carpet tiles with a company called Floor. The products are made with renewable, recycled content and they are also recyclable. And we make environmentally friendly cleaning solutions with the Hanes Celestial Group called Martha Clean. And these are wonderful products. I use them exclusively in my homes and at the office. And they have no scent, none of that artificial perfume that's in so many cleaning products, and none of that, no color. They're as clear as we can possibly make them, and they work really well in concentrated form. We recently worked with KB Home to create a beautifully designed, energy-efficient green concept home in Windermere, Florida. It's easy to make that kind of home in a climate like Florida, which you don't need a lot of heat, and one thing you do need is enough electricity to air condition. But it's a net zero energy home, meaning that it's intended to produce more energy than it consumes over the span of a year, and it includes many energy and water conserving features. The home incorporated many of the sustainable features from my own homes, including a compost bin built right into the kitchen counter. And this home is a charming home, and I hope one that will sell in great numbers for the KB company. Rule number 3, be curious, innovate. Good ideas are the product of a curious mind, and that's why curiosity is one of the most important qualities that you can have in business and in your life. Curiosity is the very foundation of invention and innovation, both of which are essential in the increasingly global marketplace. Here you can see in my Clear Story, this beautiful, beautiful big space in my office we call the Clear Story. It's a double height room, very large, where I can seat 600 for a family corporate dinner when we entertain like that, or hold beautiful artistic fairs like this one. The Rhode Island School of Design brought all their best designs to our offices, and we had a show of them for the public. It was a wonderful night seeing all the young designs dealing with the future in fine design. And certain products were given awards, and it was a fantastic gathering. We try to do this on a regular basis. With the advent of technology, the world is changing, as you know, at a very unprecedented rate. The media industry is in the midst of this revolution that is arguably as significant as the invention of movable metal type in 13th century Korea, which is where it came from. I did not know that until I started doing my research. Digital technology is reshaping the media landscape. I love technology, and I'm a firm believer in the importance of exploring and investing in it. That's why I blog nearly every day, as do many of our employees. Even my dogs are blogging. They have a blog called The Daily Wag, which is, as all our blogs are meant to be, informative and they educate. They're full of great information. They're not just a waste of time. The Daily Wag is written from the perspective of my French bulldogs, Francesca and Sharky, and my Chow Chow. I also have a lively Facebook page, and I'm very active on Twitter, which is a valuable research tool for me and a wonderful way to share information and connect with others. My followers, more than almost 2.5 million followers on Twitter, are very interested in where I am and what I'm doing and what I'm seeing. They love the twit pics that I post, and I spend about 5 minutes a day doing Twitter. No more, but I get a lot out of it. A lot of goodwill and a lot of information is shared. Digital landscape technology is reshaping the media landscape, and we have to make sure that we take part in this revolution. But this revolution is also taking up a lot of precious time, and we have to make sure that we don't waste time. Technology, for me, is meant to save time, not spend time. I want to save time so that I can spend more time doing the things I really love, not sitting in front of a computer, ignoring the children, ignoring my daily chores. It's very easy to do that, and it's really a problem. When I first saw the iPad, I knew we had to be on the iPad. We offer a growing number of innovative digital apps. I don't think apps are the future, by the way, but this is the cover of our first app. We took 180 still photos of one of my peonies opening over a period of 18 hours. And that's the peony opening. This app just won Best App of the Year from the graphic design. Sorry, I forgot the name. But anyway, it was a very prestigious award, especially since we beat out the first app made of a magazine, which was Wired magazine, so I was very excited about that. But we also publish monthly digital editions of Martha Stewart Living and Everyday Food. We are doing a weddings publication now, as well as a whole living. We are publishing our subscriptions on the Nook, which is Barnes & Noble answer to the iPad. It has a very simple and easy way to subscribe to monthly magazines. And we have sold more subscriptions via the Nook than we have via the iPad. So it's a changing landscape. We don't know where we will be in 5 years, if the public is going to want paper magazines or if they're going to want iPad applications of those magazines. The iPad, of course, allows you to do this, but does everybody want that? Do they have time for it? Do they want to flip through the pages of a magazine and tear out some pages and pin them up on their wall? So we'll see. The future is still in the future, and we have to be where everyone is going. We just don't know where that is yet. To thrive and grow in business and in life, you must be forward-thinking. Learning is a lifelong endeavor. It's how we grow and evolve. And I challenge myself and my colleagues to learn something new every day. I ask myself before I go to bed, what did I learn that day? Did I learn something important and good that day? And if I haven't, I will get up and I will go and learn something. I will read another page in a book, or I will look at another periodical. I'll do something, because it's very, very important for your brain. If there's a better way to plant a tree, I want to know about it. My mantra in business and in life is, when you're through changing, you're through. And that change is good. Find inspiration in the everyday, yet another rule. At MSLO, we are always interested in new ideas, new ways of doing things, and new sources of inspiration. It's impossible to predict when and where that inspiration will come from, where it will come from. We often find it in the most common and most unexpected things and objects and places. I find a lot of inspiration in the natural world. That's why I grow a lot of cacti and agaves and aloes. I have a huge and growing collection of these unusual plants, but I find that they're very interesting. And I also find a lot of interest in the handiwork from the past. The linens on the right were linens that were left behind in a house I bought in Maine. Beautiful things. I like the antique, and I also like the new and the future forward. My love of nature and antiques comes together in my personal collection of furniture called faux bois, which is false wood in French. I have many examples of that in my home in Maine. I've always liked things that fool the eye, especially when they emulate the real thing in the best possible way. Here's a table that looks like wood. Try to move it. It weighs about a ton. It's made out of concrete that's shaped to look like wood. I also admire the artisans whose sense of humor and deep understanding of nature are evident in their versions of the real world. More faux bois. And this morning, I had to write a column about these moss gardens that I plant on the right in my faux bois containers. I sent it off to my editor. It's my monthly column for the magazine. And hopefully you'll have that column in the Korean edition. Here's more faux bois used as a planter for lady slipper orchids or as a book stand in the living room. And the chairs, these are made out of concrete, but they're remarkably comfortable to sit on. They're very, very nice. But they really do look like wood, rustic wood. More containers, an umbrella stand. And that faux bois has now become oilcloth for aprons, for garden aprons. I love how that looks. I made one for myself, and I made one for my gardener, Andrew Beckman. It's also a recurring theme that finds expression in a myriad of how-to projects in our magazines, like this faux bois floor that I painted in my kitchen. Faux bois paint on top of real wood. Again, kind of a weird thing to do, but why not? The tool we used to create the painted faux bois floor was modified for this cupcake recipe. And you can see faux bois frosting on top of a chocolate cupcake. I can also use to create a beautiful faux bois furniture. Here we painted a modern table with a faux bois paint effect, and a dresser, and a chair, and a wallpaper. All faux bois. It can go on and on and on, and nobody gets tired of it. And here in my dining room at my house on the farm, the woodwork was all painted this beautiful sort of caramel brown color. And I decided, I think I better faux bois something in this room. So I took lacquer and I put it on the panels of the doors and used my little faux bois tool to grain the wood. It looks like it's painstakingly done. People think it's real wood, but it was very easy to do. The same with wrapping paper. My passion for faux bois has found its expression in many, many products, like our Burley-ware faux bois pattern tableware. And you can find this. This is in great demand, this faux bois. We're not making it right now, but a single dinner plate now that used to be about $5 is now $80 on eBay. More recently, we have our Martha Stewart collection of faux bois bedding, towels, and bathroom accessories at Macy's. And rugs with Safavieh. This is our best-selling rug in the faux bois pattern in many colors. It's very beautiful. And here is our tool. This is the little tool that makes faux bois in paint. And for $19.95, you can buy the faux bois kit at Home Depot. And we have sold thousands of those kits. And at Martha Stewart Living on the Media, faux bois can make the ordinary extraordinary. It's literally the icing on the cake. And this is the kind of thing, it might seem silly to you, but taking an idea through the gamut of possibilities is really what we have done as a company, building and building and building on great ideas that once you understand how it is done, you can do it with your great idea. Thank you very much.